So today we're going to have a look at what's going on in the workshop at the moment. We've got this Late Mark III that's had a lot of Series 4 conversions on it. As you can see, it's got the been back to the factory. It's got the door handles, later dashboard. This car's nearly finished now. It's come to us. We've taken the engine out. All the heat shield and insulation on the bulkhead's been redone there while the engine's been out. The engine's been detailed and painted, put back in. The gearbox has been off to Duncan Watson, been rebuilt, along with the gear vendor overdrive. See here, we've got a new air conditioning, one of Fenair's systems, using a sanding compressor. It's all been fitted up. It's all gassed up now and running fine. Just got a few jobs there, finish off now, putting the radiator fans back on. As you can see, instead of the fuses, we've got the circuit breakers. So it's just a little bit of detailing to finish off on this car now. And it should be ready to go back to its owner. Then we've got two other cars in the workshop at the moment. And funnily enough, they both come from Spain. So this is an SP, an early SP that arrived a couple of weeks ago. We've done a thorough examination on it now, and the owners agreed with the schedule of works we're going to carry out on it. It's mainly working the engine bay here. We've just started stripping it out now. It's having a full uprated cooling system, aluminium radiator, spout fans, new engine bay wiring loom. That's not the carb it came. It is a 6-pack car, but was running with a holly carb. And the car came not running, so we just got it running to start with, but the carb was leaking everywhere. So I've just put this spare Edelbrock on it for a moment. So we'll be getting a new Edelbrock carb going onto it. It's not going back to a 6-pack. So it's got all the fuel system, all the fuel lines are going to be renewed. The aircon, full new system like the other car. Radiator upgrade, all the cooling system, cooling fan controller. As I said, wiring bay, loom. The rest of the loom's all good. Everything's actually functioning and working on the car. Wheels are going to be refurbished. New set of tyres as they're over 20 years old. The tyres. Bumpers have come off for some bit of work. Car's going to be flattered and polished. Bodywork wise, it's pretty good. It's a very solid car. So that's that one. And the other one that we've got is another car from Spain. This is another Mark III Interceptor. This car had absolutely zero rust on it. I have never, not even a scab. I've never seen an Interceptor so solid. It was originally shipped to California, this car, when it was new. You can see it's had some modifications. As you can see, the rear lights are a little modification there. But as he only just wants to go touring in this car and not spend too much money, we've decided to leave the rear lights, and the bumper's been modified and spaced off, but we're leaving that. We're putting some of the things mainly right in the engine bay and on the bulkhead. It had a massively modified heating and ventilation system that had been fitted and never worked, and the wiring was all modified. The whole wiring loom had been taken out and a modified loom put in, and all the inner wings completely modified. So we've just got the heater box rebuilt yesterday. It's just in there for a trial fit, so it's got to come out and be insulated yet before going in for the final time. All the dashboard, all the holes have been filled in, and the original ones put back so that we can put the car back to standard. So this car's actually just started putting it back together this week. So it's had new inner wings fitted, a lot of work under the bonnet. The battery tray was completely missing, so I've had to make one of those, just draw it up to the specification because you can't buy that panel. And there you can see we've just got a few powder coated brackets gone back in now for the expansion tank. The fuse box has been completely refurbished and that's started going in. See there, we're putting the wiring loom into this car. So the fuse box has now been connected up, all the relays are new, been connected up. It's all new fuse boxes, relays, everything. So it'll be a nice reliable car when it's back together. It's just a bit of work to do because we've still got some not quite standard things on the bulkhead just to attend to as it's going back together. that we'll see as we're putting it back together. Engine's having a full rebuild. That was rebuilt in Spain. Unfortunately, it was absolutely ruined. They definitely started up without bedding the cams in. So it's now back from machining. It's just sat here. I've just unwrapped it. It's wrapped up, coated in ACF 50 to stop it flashing off. So luckily we can reuse the pistons. It's been honed. All the bearings on the bottom end were wiped out when the crankshaft was, when it was so bad it completely wiped one low belt. So that's there, ready for rebuilding. The heads are wrapped up down there. This box here's got the crankshaft, that's all wrapped up in there. It's ready to go back together. The parts are on order, but we're having problems at the minute getting parts from America. Or, well, everybody's having problems getting engine parts, as you can't get them from UK suppliers either. So that's waiting to go back together once we get the engine parts for that. We've got two Mark 1 FFs that we're doing rebuilds on. They're available to buy from us as bespoke builds if you're interested. This is a rebuilt gearbox from one of them. That's been off to Duncan Watts, had a full rebuild and ready to go back in the car. Old Krypton tuner there that comes into use every now and then. That's the engine stand that we fit the engines onto that and run them up before they go back in the car. So all the cams are bedded in and they go back in the car and we know they're all good. Everything's working. When we put them on there, as it's the exact cooling system that's going in the car with it, everything else, so we know it's good to go once it's in the car. There's the workbench. Not a lot going on there. Got power steering pump there that's just waiting for a rebuild. Seal kit's coming for it. That's just going to be a spare, so I'll get that one rebuilt and put back on the shelf. We've got a spare. And then I'll go through here. This is a clean room. And a couple of bonnets there for cars that are wrapped up and out of the way. And here's a engine for an SP that we're doing a rebuild of. The car's not here, the customer's taking it away. The bodywork's being redone at High Tone Restorations, and the bodywork's pretty much complete now. Saw the car at the weekend. So engine's all been machined, the bottom end's in. We've had a problem with the camshaft bearings, so we've not been able to proceed. I've literally this week got a new set of camshaft bearings. I've been waiting for these now for a long time. So I've got a set of camshaft bearings and hopefully we can just get on with this. So it's got, as you'll see, Edelbrock Performer heads, Harlan Sharp roller rockers. It's pretty much built as standard. The bottom end's been balanced. We're pretty much putting it back as a standard engine, but if there's any way we can get a little bit of extra power out of it without it going to use any more fuel, that's what we're doing. We did originally have a brand new set of 6-pack carbs for this engine. The customer's since decided to scrap that idea and it's going to be fitted with a fuel injection kit. So that's a project that we're on with. Got the lathe there that we use. I was only using it yesterday. Got a bit of nylon in there. I had to make a couple of nylon bushes up when I was rebuilding the heater box for the flap at the bottom. The bushes were ruined, so we just knocked a couple of bushes up there. It's got a little milling head on the top, so I can do little bits of milling if required. You know, this is the sort of thing that we might make on it. This is a hub nut for the front of an FF. These are not available to buy. So this has been machined on this lathe, and then the little slots in the top there were cut out when the milling head was put over it. And they were made with that. I've also, this is an original Mark 1 FF bonnet trim piece that goes just in front of the scoop. And I'm rebuilding 2 of these cars and one of them was missing. So we've got this piece of brass. It's now being shaped. You actually can't see it there. It's got a lot of curvature to it. It's very gentle curve, but it looks fairly straight from there. There's a lot of curve to it. So I've now just got to get some studs fitted in the bottom of it and that can go off for chroming. There's some Mark 1 mirrors that have been slowly rebuilding as and when I find the parts for them. So I'm just waiting. That one needs a switch now. But as you can see, they're I've got 3 mirrors, so I've got 2 cars, and I'll be able to choose the best 2 mirrors out of the 3, and then we'll be selling the others on. So as you can see, this is a great little piece of kit, this engine rig. It's got a handle and a gearbox on here, and if I wind that down, I could set the engine without any stress all the way through 360 degrees, and it really does make working on these quite heavy V8 engines a lot easier. And when you stop in position, and it just stops wherever you are and holds its position with the gearbox. As you go through there, we've got more storage, got cars in storage, and all the parts off all the cars that we're working on. And that's pretty much it, what we've got going on at the moment.